if you were watching my stream on Thursday the 28th, you'd know that I raced this car around Spa for the 1 hour endurance for the weekly challenge. And this is a 800 pp setup, which is commonly used for Sardegna, but can also be used for basically any 800 pp race. What you're simply gonna do is just manipulate the point system so that you have a lot of rear downforce, which causes a lot of drag, brings the performance points down, but you're going to counteract that with an oversteery setup for the suspension. So in that way, you are able to not only bring the points down, but the car is actually somewhat drivable. So if you like the livery, go and check out CLR Watson. He's the one who made this PHS livery, his favorite website, based on the Martini livery. He told me to put this livery in a video, and I'm going to put it in a video because I'm not scared, unlike him. So, hope you enjoy the setup. And you know what? We don't even need to go to the shop, to the tuning shop, because all you need to buy is the fully customizable racing transmission and racing mediums. And I think it already comes with racing mediums, so I don't even think you need to buy them. In my case, I bought hards, mediums, intermediates, and wets because softs are just too much in terms of the tire wear. So this is set up on racing mediums. For your suspension, you want the lowest at the front 60, highest at the rear 90. Anti-roll, you want lowest at the front and highest at the back, so 1 and 10. Compression, you want lowest on the front, highest at the back, 20 and 40. Expansion, you want lowest at the front, highest at the back, 30 and 50. Natural frequency, the same. You want the lowest at the front, 3.5, highest at the rear, 5.0. Negative camber, 2. Then toe angle, you want 0.1 toe out and 0.2 toe in on the rear. Diff on 5, 20 and 5. That's what makes the most difference, is the diff, because it allows you to power out of corners. If you want to change that up, obviously this is just a base setup, change it to however you want. But as long as you have basically the downforce setup as this and your racing transmission, you should be fine. So your downforce, you want 562 on the front and 1600 on the back, which is the maximum. So this is if you put this with a car with no downforce, this car would spin out instantly because it would oversteer and want to bring the tail out because the rear is so stiff. There's no movement in it, so it's just gonna put all that movement into the tire and spin out. So theoretically, using the game mechanics, what we're doing is making an understeery setup by not having much front downforce and having an oversteery suspension setup, so it balances out theoretically to make the car drivable. So we'll obviously demonstrate this on a couple of laps of Sardegna, but this is the setup I've got. Racing transmission auto set to 370. Haven't changed the gears, but if you want to match the gears you can. Pause it there if you need to. And then here are just all the parts I haven't added, because I think these are all the parts that we have installed. This is just reminding me. Brake balance controller, I've set this to -3 for Sardegna, but if you're using it for other races, with tire wear, long endurance races, you might want to put it to -5, because that way the tire wear will balance out between the front and back. This has more of a tendency to wear out the tires the further back the brake balance goes. So I'd recommend 4 or 5 for this setup. I have 3. It's up to you whether or not to do this setup. I'm gonna do this as a one-take video because some people may not know where Sardegna is or what Sardegna is and where it is on the map. So you want to go to Europe, and it should be on Italy right at the bottom here. Sardegna road track, not windmills. You don't want to be driving a Group 1 on dirt. You want Sardegna road track, and you want this one, World Touring Car 800 pp, 15 laps. This should get done in under 24 minutes. If you're a competent driver, even under 23. You could save a minute, but I'm averaging about 24 minutes for this particular race. So we're going to start, and I'll just do a couple of sighting laps to explain how this car kind of drives. So I've got this on hard difficulty, so you don't have to worry about lapping the AI as much. You're in an overpowered car, so you should theoretically be okay even on the hard difficulty. You've got 200 more horsepower, you weigh like 400 kilos less, you've got a lot more downforce. Be wary of your front tire wear, because that's what's going to dictate whether or not you turn or you die into a wall. These corners it kind of struggles a little bit, mainly because of the oversteery suspension setup and the understeery downforce. So you don't have much front downforce, it's mainly relying on mechanical grip. But you should be fine. Even with 788 horsepower stock, you should be good. I have purchased the turbo for this, but not using it because too much power and you'll end up wasting fuel. Speaking of fuel mix won the whole race, pit after lap 7. So end of lap 7 I like to pit because at least I have a somewhat balanced lap time. So like basically 8 and 7, 15, start lap 8, you should be fine filling your tank in the brim and going all the way to the end. Oh, that's what I was talking about, let me speed this round. I'm going to keep that in, might as well. I did warn you, on the slow speed corners it has a tendency to kick the rear out. And obviously if the cars are clear in front, you can take this corner flat. I have front suspension damage, front bumper damage, so I couldn't really take that flat. But yeah, it is a pretty straightforward car to drive, pretty easy to drive. It's just if you lack the skill like me, you don't present the car very well, so you should be overtaking these guys pretty easily. I think by lap 4, Portia pits, because he's in the Viper, he pits 3 times this race, and you only pit once, so you don't have to worry about pace pretty much. As long as you're averaging low, like I pretty much average on this race maybe like 133s. I've seen other people's setups go as under 130, so this car has better potential with a better driver, obviously. And you should be finishing this race in under 25 minutes, easily under 25 minutes, which makes it about between 1.6 and 1.9 million per hour, depending on your race pace. Because if I'm lucky, I'd be able to do 23-minute races here, and if I'm unlucky, I'll do 25-minute races. So as you can see, we've already caught up to 9th place, even after catastrophically spinning out. Just be careful on the slow speed corners, don't use too much throttle, otherwise you're going to bring the rear around and spin out and cause some drama. So I will leave it there. Hope you enjoyed this tune setup video. It's been a while since I've posted a money farming tune. Like the video, comment on what tune you want me to post next, subscribe, make sure you turn on post notifications so you know when I go live. Don't be like me and be a bad driver and drive into the sand, and I'll see you in the next video.